A 71-year-old man woke up feeling completely fine on a Tuesday morning. He had his coffee, read the paper, and stepped outside to get the mail. 20 minutes later, his wife was frantically dialing 911. He survived, but barely. When I met him in the recovery room, he looked at me with tears in his eyes and asked how this could possibly happen. He passed his last physical. He took his daily medications, yet he became a victim of the exact same silent killer that is actively hunting millions of people over the age of 60 right now. The terrifying reality of a sudden, silent heart attack striking without warning in the early morning hours is a nightmare far too many face. You have been led to believe that feeling breathless, fatigued, or having slightly elevated numbers is just a normal part of getting older. You wait weeks for an appointment, only to be rushed through a 10-minute consultation where you were treated like a number and handed yet another prescription. You are sent home with chemicals that often bring a cascade of new problems, while the root cause inside your chest goes completely ignored. The plaque continues to harden. The silent threat grows. But there is a biological switch you can flip starting tomorrow morning, a specific, natural compound you likely already have sitting in your pantry. When you add just a tiny amount of this to a glass of water, it triggers a powerful enzymatic reaction in your bloodstream. It actively supports your body in flushing out the calcified buildup threatening your heart. It costs almost nothing. It requires 0 new prescriptions, and in a few moments, I am going to show you exactly what to drop into your glass to take your power back.
My name is Dr. Marcus Caldwell. I am a cardiothoracic surgeon. For the last 20 years, I have stood on the front lines of the operating room. I have opened thousands of chests. I have held beating human hearts in the palms of my hands. I have seen exactly what years of hidden plaque and neglected cardiovascular health look like up close. I love my profession, but I am deeply frustrated by the reality of modern medicine. We are trapped in a system that allows doctors barely 7 minutes per patient. 7 minutes is not enough time to explain the truth about your health or to find the root cause of your symptoms. It is barely enough time to write another prescription. I am here because you deserve the truth that those rushed appointments simply cannot provide. You deserve to know how to protect your vitality, and what I am about to share with you changes everything. For decades, the medical establishment has operated on a set of rigid, deeply outdated guidelines. When you sit in that cold examination room, shivering in a paper gown, the protocols dictating your care were likely established long before we truly understood the unique biology of the aging cardiovascular system. The medical system relies on a generic playbook. It treats a vibrant 70-year-old body exactly the same as a 40-year-old body. They look at your chart. They see a blood pressure reading or a cholesterol number that falls slightly outside a standardized, heavily lobbied bracket, and they immediately reach for their prescription pad. They tell you to avoid salt completely, practically starving your body of essential trace minerals. They tell you dietary fat is the ultimate enemy. They put you on a cocktail of daily medications that drain your energy, create a dense, heavy brain fog, and leave your muscles and joints aching constantly. And why? Because these outdated guidelines prioritize forcing your numbers into an artificial, mathematically perfect range over actually supporting the true health of your cardiovascular system. The system operates on a defensive, liability-first mentality. Doctors are given a mere 7 minutes to assess you, which forces them into a blanket approach. They are aggressively managing your symptoms on paper, treating you simply as a metric to be adjusted, while the physical reality inside your chest is completely ignored. The calcification keeps building up. The walls of your vessels continue to stiffen. The silent threat remains untouched. I need you to hear this next part loud and clear, and I want you to truly internalize it.
If you are dealing with climbing blood pressure, if you are terrified of an unexpected cardiac event stealing you away from your grandchildren, if you feel exhausted, dizzy, and betrayed by your own body, it is not your fault. You have been doing exactly what you were told to do for years. You restricted your sodium until every meal tasted like cardboard. You gave up the foods you loved. You took the pills every single morning, right on schedule. You endured the extreme fatigue, the memory slips, and that terrifying dizziness when you stand up too fast, just because the doctor said it was necessary. You did your part. You did everything right. But the system failed you. It handed you a broken compass, gave you a map drawn 40 years ago, and then subtly blamed you when your health did not improve. The traditional medical system simply does not have the time or the financial incentive to sit down and teach you how to naturally support your biology. It is much faster to give you a chemical bandage than to explain how your body can actually reverse the damage when given the precise natural tools it craves. You are not just another number on a chart. You are not a lost cause destined for a nursing home or a life confined to a chair. You have simply been forced to play a game using a fundamentally flawed rulebook. But your reliance on that broken system ends today. The truth is, your body has an incredible, relentless desire to heal itself. You still have so much power over your own vitality. And once you understand the actual physical mechanism behind why your arteries narrow and stiffen as you pass your 60th birthday, you will see exactly why this simple, inexpensive addition to your morning glass of water changes the entire landscape of your health.
To truly understand how to reclaim your cardiovascular health, we must first look past the confusing medical jargon and understand the astonishing, relentless machinery working inside your chest right now. When I stand in the operating room, making an incision and gently separating the rib cage to expose a beating human heart, I am not just looking at a muscle. I am looking at a living, breathing historical record of a person's metabolic life. I am reading the story of their body. In a healthy, youthful state, the arteries that feed the heart and carry life-giving oxygen to your brain are beautiful structures. They are soft, pliable, and incredibly resilient. They expand and contract effortlessly with every single beat of your heart, over 100,000 times a day. But for the vast majority of patients I see over the age of 60, the story written on those vessels is deeply concerning. When my gloved hands touch these arteries, they do not feel soft or pliable. They feel stiff. They are often hardened, coated with a thick yellowish plaque, and heavily calcified to the point where they sometimes feel like fragile, brittle twigs that could snap under the slightest pressure. This extreme stiffening is the silent threat you carry with you to bed every night. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the microscopic inner wallpaper of your blood vessels, an incredibly delicate, silk-like layer of cells called the endothelium. Your endothelium is fundamentally responsible for your cardiovascular survival. It produces a miraculous messenger molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the signal that tells your blood vessels to relax, widen, and allow blood to flow smoothly without friction. But here is the biological tragedy that standard medicine rarely takes the time to explain to you during a rushed appointment. As we age, driven by years of silent inflammation and dietary stress, this delicate silk lining becomes frayed and damaged. Microscopic tears begin to form. Your body, in a desperate attempt to heal itself and prevent an internal bleed, rushes to patch these micro tears. It uses cholesterol as a soft bandage. But the body does not stop there. To reinforce the patch, it pulls calcium from your bloodstream and deposits it directly into the arterial wall. Over decades, this mixture of cholesterol and calcium hardens into a dense, bone-like substance. A landmark clinical review investigating endothelial dysfunction in older adults revealed a staggering reality. By the time you reach your 65th birthday, your natural production of nitric oxide has plummeted by up to 75%.
Without that essential signal to relax, your vessels remain in a state of constant, rigid constriction. Your arteries are not rigid metal plumbing. They are living, dynamic, muscular structures, much like a supple, high-quality garden hose. When a garden hose is brand new, the rubber is perfectly flexible. You can bend it, twist it, and a massive volume of water can flow through it without any resistance. But if you leave that exact same hose exposed outside for years, enduring the harsh summer sun and the bitter winter freezes, the structural integrity of the material fundamentally changes. It becomes dangerously stiff and brittle. If you turn the water pressure up on that old hardened hose, it cannot expand to accommodate the rush of water. The pressure inside skyrockets, and the weakest point of the hose threatens to burst. This is precisely the mechanical crisis occurring inside your body right now. Your heart is being forced to pump thick, sluggish blood through a network of stiff, unyielding vessels. This is why you feel that heavy, unexplainable fatigue dragging you down by mid-afternoon. This is why you experience sudden bouts of dizziness when you stand up, or that terrifying brain fog that makes you feel like you are losing your sharp mind. Your brain and your muscles are literally suffocating, starved of the rich, oxygenated blood they desperately need because your vascular network has lost its youthful elasticity. The traditional medical approach to this mechanical failure is deeply flawed. Instead of treating the stiffness of the vessel, they prescribe heavy medications designed to artificially weaken the pump. They give you chemicals that force your heart to beat slower and with less force, simply to keep the pressure numbers on their chart within a safe mathematical range. They are manipulating the gauge without ever fixing the engine. But your body is profoundly resilient. The calcified plaque hardening your vessels is not a permanent death sentence. Your biology is constantly seeking a state of balance and healing. If we can introduce the precise biochemical signals your body is begging for, we can support your natural ability to soften that hardened tissue, restore that vital flexibility, and manage your health naturally. We just need to activate a very specific enzymatic reaction in your bloodstream, and the catalyst for this powerful vascular transformation is incredibly simple, entirely natural, and involves an ordinary morning habit you are just moments away from discovering.
I promised you a path forward, a way to step out of the shadows of a broken medical system and reclaim the vibrant health that is rightfully yours. We are going to initiate a profound biological shift using natural and simple solutions that require only a few moments of your day. I am going to walk you through a highly specific 4-step morning protocol. It involves a simple kitchen concoction and a 60-second physiological technique that you will perform the moment your feet touch the floor tomorrow morning. These are actionable, easy steps that you can implement immediately. And the best part is, this vital routine costs practically no money. Step 1 is establishing the correct foundation of hydration. The moment you wake up, before you reach for that cup of coffee, pour yourself 8 ounces of room temperature water. Do not use cold water. Cold water shocks your internal system and forces your already stiff blood vessels to constrict even further. We want to promote warmth, relaxation, and expansion within your chest. Step 2 is where we directly challenge one of the most damaging medical narratives of our time. You are going to take a small pinch of pure, unrefined Celtic sea salt and dissolve it into that glass of water. For decades, the medical establishment has aggressively demonized salt, blaming it entirely for your cardiovascular issues and high blood pressure. But commercial table salt, which is heavily bleached and stripped of all life, is completely different from unrefined crystalline sea salt. Celtic sea salt contains over 80 essential trace minerals, including highly bioavailable forms of magnesium and potassium. Your heart is, at its core, a magnificent electrical organ. It absolutely requires these microscopic trace minerals to conduct the electrical impulses that keep your rhythm steady and strong.
By drinking this, you are instantly hydrating your cells and giving your heart the exact electrical fuel it is begging for. Step 3 is the introduction of the master catalyst. To your mineral water, you will add 1 small scoop of pure L-citrulline powder. You can find this at any local health store. Let me explain the sheer, unadulterated power of L-citrulline and why it is the ultimate game changer for your vascular network. It is a completely natural compound that acts as the direct biological precursor to nitric oxide. When you consume L-citrulline, it bypasses the destructive processes in your liver and flows straight into your bloodstream. It acts like a brilliant chemical messenger, knocking on the doors of your damaged endothelium and commanding those cells to wake up. It signals your body to flood your system with fresh nitric oxide. The rigid, calcified walls of your arteries are bathed in this soothing signal, commanding them to soften, relax, and widen. Step 4 is the mechanical activation, a powerful action you must take immediately after finishing your glass. Sit comfortably on the edge of your bed. You are going to perform a precise 60-second breathing technique that will physically lower your blood pressure and actively reprogram your nervous system. Inhale deeply through your nose for a slow count of 4. Hold that breath at the top of your lungs for a count of 4. Then exhale forcefully through pursed lips as if you were blowing out a thick candle for a count of 6. Repeat this exact cycle 6 times. This specific rhythm physically massages your vagus nerve, which runs directly from the base of your brain down to your heart. By stimulating this nerve, you manually drag your body out of the chronic, stressed fight-or-flight state that narrows your arteries. You are mechanically forcing your physiology into a calm, parasympathetic state of deep rest and regeneration. You are taking the steering wheel of your own nervous system. When you combine the electrical conductivity of the trace minerals, the powerful nitric oxide surge from the L-citrulline, and the profound vagal nerve stimulation from the 60-second breathing exercise, the results are nothing short of spectacular. You are physically widening the biological highways inside your body. Fresh, highly oxygenated blood will finally be able to surge up into your brain, sweeping away that heady, exhausting mental fog that has been plaguing you. You will begin to feel a distinct, comforting warmth returning to your hands and your feet as circulation is powerfully restored to your extremities. I understand your deep frustrations because I listen to the heartfelt stories of my older patients every day. You value your true quality of life far more than simply adding a few miserable medicated years to your lifespan. You want to wake up with energy, maintain your absolute independence, and never have to endure the terrifying vulnerability of a hospital bed. You deeply desire honest doctors who will look you in the eye, validate your struggles, and clearly explain the root causes of your symptoms instead of just pushing you out the door. By understanding the brilliant mechanics of your own body, you are securing the vital knowledge necessary to advocate for yourself. You are no longer just a passive participant in a rushed 10-minute consultation. Write this 4-step morning protocol down on a piece of paper. Take it with you to your next appointment and firmly ask your doctor if your heavy dosage of daily pills is still entirely necessary once you begin actively supporting your vascular biology through these natural methods. You have the absolute right to demand better answers. However, executing this morning protocol flawlessly is only half of the equation, because there is a highly toxic everyday habit you are likely performing right after dinner that completely destroys your nitric oxide levels while you sleep.
Now, I need to be absolutely clear with you, as a physician who cares deeply about your well-being and your future. The information I share with you today is for general educational purposes. It is meant to empower you with the biological knowledge you have been denied for far too long. Please do not simply throw away your prescribed medications or abruptly alter your current medical treatments. Instead, use what you have learned in this video to have a much stronger, more informed conversation with your primary care doctor. Be your own fiercest advocate. Ask the hard questions, demand better answers, and work with your healthcare team to make the safest choices for your lasting independence. Before we close today, I need to ask you for a vital favor. Please go down to the comments section right now and tell me your systolic blood pressure reading for today. I read every single one of your stories. Your comments are building a profound therapeutic support group for thousands of people who feel completely abandoned and rushed by the traditional medical system. We are in this together, and your voice truly matters. More importantly, I am asking you to share this video with your spouse, your sibling, or a friend who is over the age of 60. We are losing far too many wonderful people to sudden silent heart attacks simply because they were never given this basic biological truth during their rushed 7-minute checkups. Sending them this link is an act of genuine public utility. It could literally be the exact intervention that saves someone you deeply care about from a devastating morning emergency. You have the power to protect them right now with just a simple click. And your journey to reclaim your vitality does not stop here. To continue arming yourself with the truth and to keep taking back absolute control of your health and your independence, you need to keep educating yourself. There is another video appearing on your screen right now to help you do exactly that. Click on it, keep advocating for your health, and I will see you over there.